Money, money, money.
Must be funny.
But is it? Well, do you find it funny that Microsoft's taking your money whilst you've already paid for a £60 or $60 video game? I probably think that's not the case, so that's kind of what we're going to discuss in today's video. Now listen, I've had quite a few comments on various videos recently from comments I've made about microtransactions in the past year, saying that I condone them. And whilst it's not necessarily about condoning them, it's about the reality of the situation and why they exist. So rather than explaining my pure thoughts on the subject in this video, I'm also going to tackle things such as why they're even there in the first place, and also how you as a consumer can influence their presence within the final game. So it's just a bit of my thoughts on the subject, my solutions, the way I would implement them, and why the microtransactions exist. And also I want you guys in the comment section down below to tell me what are your thoughts on microtransactions, and don't just tell me whether you want them or not. I want you to tell me in the comments how you would realistically implement them as a business trying to make money. Anyway, let's crack on.
Ultimate Halo.
Hey up lads and lasses, Fletch here from Ultimate Halo, and currently only 75.8 of you who watch my videos recently have been subscribed. Now, it's a dream of mine to reach that glorious 100k, so if you could all please support me to create more Halo content, just please consider subscribing. I promise I won't let you down, and also apologies for the lack of videos in the past week or two. With infinite delay, I just fancied a bit of a rest, and I've also been working on my setup. Now, how cool does this look? A lot of time went into that. Anyway. Ah yes, the dreaded microtransaction debate. Where do I begin? Well, let's start off with my opinion, which I think will pivot into the reality of the situation. I do not like microtransactions, like at all, and if we could go back to the Halo 3 days of unlocking stuff through achievements and hitting certain ranks and doing specific tasks, I absolutely would. I'm personally not a fan of the Halo Reach style type of unlocking things through credits. It's not bad, and I definitely would take that as a compromise if there was to be none at all, but I've always loved the idea of saying I got this by completing this super hard task. I have always found it super satisfying, especially when I got my hands on Hayabusa for the first time. It was just different than buying or spending something with a load of points. It just doesn't hit in the same way. So no, I do not like them, but as someone who has a relatively good understanding of business, I appreciate it's just a reality that does not exist anymore. Now, I am definitely no expert, but I'm going to try to explain to those of you who are absolutely hell-bent on removing them from all video games. And whilst I admire that, and I'd still love that myself, they still kind of need to be there for a few reasons, and that's because of a lot of changes that have happened over the years. So first of all, the stock market and business trends have changed dramatically. So most public businesses, especially those on the scale of Microsoft, sell shares on the stock market. People buy these shares from the market to help fund the business, and the more profitable that the business is, the more cash that you, as the person who bought it, get in return. All great, and it's simple economics at this stage. However, let's say your boy Activision over here is releasing less games than you, therefore spending less money, but is making more money. Why would I, as the investor, put money into your business when I can put it over at Activision where they're making more bang for my buck? Well, that's exactly it. Market trends have seen a huge change over the past decade, and investors aren't really your standard Joes like you and I. They just wanted to get a better return on their investment, and if microtransactions is a hyper-profitable business model, then why would they put their business in somewhere that has high-budget games with DLC that could already be out for a potentially dead game anyway? So in summary, Microsoft needs to not only make a great game in line with fan expectations, so that they obviously get the great reviews, then make them sound appealing from a consumer perspective. They also need to make it very profitable and implement other means of income in their games so they can appeal to investors, therefore increasing profits. As we can all see, it's a very fine balance, and you will never truly make everybody happy in this regard. With all of this in mind, what can you do to influence it? Now, this is one of the things that's hard, but it's certainly not impossible by any means. A prime example of this is Star Wars Battlefront 2. This game absolutely tanked initially because of its egregious use of microtransactions. Now, once the game had been out for long enough, there was a lot of complaints on the subreddit around the topic, and a developer did reply to the post, and it was one of the most, if not the most downvoted post on Reddit ever. It even got so bad that Disney stepped in and brought it up to EA, and they temporarily removed all microtransactions from the game. After that, the game has had a lot of positive changes and it has steadily improved, but honestly, no game should ever be put through that. A developer should not make a game pay to win if you're already paying full price for it anyway. So it is without a doubt evident that developers will make changes. Hell, look at the new Mombasa nameplate Master Chief Collection that was removed. Now, don't get me wrong, but I think it was dumb and it was removed, and context was absolutely everything in this regard. I'm not going to go into this subject right now. I disagree with it passionately, but let's move on. But to that point, 343 do have their ears on the ground at all times. You might not think that they do, but trust me, they are always listening and trying to get a vibe of what the community is saying. We all know that Halo Infinite at this stage is not going to have any loot boxes. This has been confirmed by Chris Lee at 343 Industries, but people have also confused that with no microtransactions, but that's absolutely not the case. This basically just means that rec packs with Halo Infinite and anything else that's randomly generated will not be there. But with Halo Infinite being free to play and on Xbox Game Pass, they're not getting their £60 or $60 per game now, meaning that they need to make up this income. I suspect the way they'll approach it is similar to the way seasons work in Halo the Master Chief Collection, and I strongly believe this has been a testing ground for 343 to get some valuable feedback from the community. On the whole, I would say it's been positive, but this is for quite a few reasons. It means that there's now a reason to play Master Chief Collection and continue to grind on the multiplayer, whilst new content is being added on these games that never even existed before, with zero monetization. Of course, this will change with Halo Infinite, but making sure the core system is right first will help them with their progress. For those who haven't spent much time with this system and how it works, basically it's the more you play, the more challenges you get to do, the more experience you get. You can then get season points which unlock new gear in any order you want that's available for that season. It keeps people sticking around over multiple months and to be able to improve the player retention. How I see this working in Halo Infinite is that you can also buy a season pass, which will then give you a boost and have more season points to unlock more stuff. Then from there you'll also likely get exclusive items compared to those who do not buy the season pass, and as well as this, anybody can buy any type of skin that's on the market at the time. If this is the way that Halo Infinite is going to approach it, which I'm relatively confident is going to be the case, I would be happy with that as a means of monetization, although I would like some element of task-based unlocks, much like we get to Spartan rank 152 on Halo 5, and we get a little something when Halo Infinite releases, which has already been confirmed. Overall, Halo Infinite needs to get this right, and I do not think it was great in Halo 5, but I think we all need to accept the reality of the situation that you cannot fight them being in the game. But as I've previously said, I do want to know your comments and your thoughts on the subject, so let me know in the comment section down below, letting me know how you would implement it. Please keep it clean because I know it's a passionate subject. Once again, if you're not already subscribed, it would genuinely mean the world if you could do so. Once again, my name is Jack Fletcher, and I will see you next time on the one and the only Ultimate Halo.
Subscribe now to Ultimate Halo for more unfriggin' believable Halo content.